and welcome to episode 8 of the Knitting Esquire. My name is Candace, and this is a podcast all about my knitting and crafting adventures. I have a finished object, a couple of works in progress, and an extraordinarily large amount of procurements in this episode. Not only did I procure yarn while on our trip to London this past week, but while I was gone, I also had some come in the mail. So I apologize for the long procurement section that will happen shortly, but it is for your viewing pleasure, and I do hope that you enjoy looking at all the beautiful yarns as much as I do. So let's go ahead and dive right in. You can find me over on Instagram as Candace Sue ESQ Knits and over on Ravelry as the Knitting Esquire. I will make sure to include all of the Ravelry pages for the projects that I talk about, as well as links and information regarding the dyers and locations as to where I have procured all of my beautiful yarn. So let's, I guess, move right in to finished objects. While we were away, I decided that I should probably cast something on, because why not have a trip specific project going? So when we left for London on it's been a while now, on the 13th, we had an 8-hour flight ahead of us. So while we sat down at the airport, I decided to cast on a new pair of socks specifically for the trip, hoping that I would be able to knit them all while we were gone, but I will get more into that. So I did my standard 56 cast on for these socks, and I just decided to go ahead and do the Crazy Sock Ladies vanilla sock pattern for this one. I had planned that we would be walking around and traveling by train and that kind of stuff while we were away in London, and so I wanted to choose a simple pattern for that. So I finished my Luna's Lost socks. This is yarn from Freckled Whimsy. This is part of her Magical Mischief yarn club. This is the March 2024 colorway, and it's it's perfect. I showed this last episode or the episode before. It's Harry Potter. We were going to London, and I thought, why not cast it on? So I got through the first sock by, well, actually, it took me a whole week to do the first sock. Let's be honest. We were very, very busy in London. I can't say that we didn't do everything. We didn't miss a single thing, and I'll go into that a little bit more. So I really didn't finish the first sock until we were sitting in the airport, to which I bound off and completed the Kitchener stitch toe. And then while we were on the plane ride home, I cast on the second pair, and I made it through the heel flap and turn on that flight. My hands started getting a little tired, and then I ended up finishing this pair on, I believe it would have been Sunday. That sounds right. I think I finished this while we went and saw Ghostbusters on Sunday, and I think I finished this on Sunday, but let me just confirm that in my notebook here. March 25th is when I finished it. So cast on March 13th, finished on March 25th. Size US 1, 2.25 millimeter Addy Rocket Turbo needles, and this is on Freckled Whimsy's Splendid base, which is her 85 Superwash Merino 15% nylon base. I have no idea what the weight was. I forgot to weigh the yarn before we left on Wednesday. I could weigh what I have left and kind of guess based off of what I normally get in a Freckled Whimsy skein, but I decided that it wasn't worth it for this one. I just didn't really want to deal with it. So I missed that one. But I have a pair of completed socks to go along with my London trip. I know that I had talked about in one episode, I did the Peeves Sockway color by Freckled Whimsy from the Magical Mischief Club, and it was like perfect for St. Patty's Day. And St. Patty's Day was on Sunday while we were in London, and I completely forgot my socks at home. It was the only item I forgot, and so I was a little bit disappointed. I had absolutely nothing in green to wear on St. Patty's Day, and I left my socks. So what are you gonna do? I know it's a quick finished object. I have been working on some larger projects lately. I have the sock camp picnic socks left that are still, they're kind of hanging out now. I didn't want to bring those even though I only have one sock left. I just wanted vanilla socks. I'm feeling that same way. I hate leaving one sock done, and I'm through the cuff and through probably 10 rounds on the leg of that pair. But I don't know. I like the pattern. I'm just not feeling like pattern knitting socks right now. The vanilla socks have been really calling to me, so I'll likely cast on a new pair of those here soon. We have soccer games this weekend. That's my intent, at least. So I have another pair of vanilla socks on the go, but I'll show you the yarn that I have, and I'll probably pick one of the new ones that I've got. I'm so excited for them. So that is my finished object for this episode. With that, we will move into works in progress. So while we were away, my yarn came in for the Eras blanket that I am doing as the mystery knit along. Knit the Eras MKL with Kristen Ashbaugh Helmrich, Kristen in Stitches, and this is the Taylor Swift blanket. So the yarn came in. The third color is for the Evermore album, and the patterning is amazing. I'm only putting this in whips simply because, you know, I had kind of commented on it before. Technically it's finished because I did it for the month, but it still is an overall whip because the blanket is not done in its entirety. I don't know, technicality, I guess. So I will show off. You know, it's not it's a mystery, but I mean, look, we're now what? It's the 27th, so this has been released for 2 weeks now. If you are knitting this and you're not done and you don't want to know, look away. But the patterning is amazing for this. And so I will try and stretch this out. So I'm looking at my computer screen just in case, but this is the color. It is this beautiful, like, sagey green, and it's getting, I don't know, it looks pretty accurate there. But if you look in the patterning of this, there are trees, which is so perfect for the Evermore album. And then you have, I gotta remember, Fearless is the yellow and Lover is the purple. Those are hearts. And then the Fearless, the yellow, is supposed to be the fringe from her dress, from Taylor's dresses. So this is one of the whips. I started working this on Sunday. I spent most of the entire day on Sunday outside of our movie that we went and saw, working this up because I really wanted to get the clue done. It takes me about 2 to 3 hours to finish up a clue. This is Aran weight yarn. It's 100% superwash British BFL by Archaic Fibers, and it is Aran weight, so it does go pretty quick. This is being knit up on US 9 needles. I don't know off the top of my head, and maybe it says on here that I can kind of see without the glare of the light here. Is that a 5.5? Yeah. My eyes are so bad on this. 5.5 millimeters, I think, is what the needle size is on this one. That sounds right. So that is my Knit the Eras MKAL for March. That means I have a couple of weeks until the next colorway comes in to get that knitted up and moving into April. So I'm looking forward to that. This has been such a fun knit. You still have time to join in if you want to. You could always use yarn in your own stash and whatever reminds you of the album now that you know which order it's going in. If you join in, you could choose a colorway that reminds you of the album and have your own version of the blanket. I think Archaic Fibers may have restocked on the yarn. I'm not certain. I just bought it as like the whole group, so I didn't have to worry about ordering it each month. So it's already paid for, it just comes in. But it's a really fun knit. It knits up so quick, and Kristen makes the patterning so easy. It looks fancy, but those are just some yarn overs and some knit two together or slip knits. I mean, it's really that simple. And it's beautiful. So I just love getting to get caught up on this each month. I'm really enjoying this project. Since I've been working on this project, the other project that I have aside from socks, which I knit through those so quick I haven't started another pair, which I need to do. I've been really focusing on getting my Stephen West shawl completed. So that's my second whip for this episode. It is the Glittering Snowscape shawl by Stephen West. I started this project on December 28th. It is now March 27th. So that's like what, almost 90 days on the needles. That's 91 days on the needles, I think, almost 90 days on the needles. I am so close to this being done. I'm really excited. I got quite a bit of work done since the last time I shared this with you. And I'm hoping to have it done maybe by the next time I podcast. Let's see, if I do that in a week, I could probably get this done in the next week or so. I'm just very determined at this point. So we'll see how that goes. But let's see where I was when we last spoke. So when I last showed this, and I'll show this the right way, this is the top of the shawl. And I'm sorry, I haven't really looked at it like this, and I'm looking at it right now, and it is just beautiful. Oh, this is going to block out so wonderfully. I apologize, I have a bit of a cold. So this is it so far, and as you can see where that stitch marker is, that is where I had left off. So I had done everything from up here all the way down to the stitch marker here, and it's getting quite big, so I apologize, my face is covered. So I have, since this, which has really been only 2 weeks, because I don't think I picked this up until after I recorded last time, I've gotten through this section, the ridges, and this section is all complete. I'm into the final portions, and I'll show you that. It's hard to see on the needles here. So let me pull this apart so you can kind of see the stitch patterning in this last set here. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. And so right now I am working on section 5. No, there's like section 15. What am I talking about? This is color 5. So the final color, and I'm doing the border here. Well, the border will come, but this is most of the border where it creates this, where it looks like it's almost going vertical instead of horizontal on the shawl. So it's hard to see because you knit this in weird little sections where you're like picking up one stitch off of this main color and then knitting down. So I think once I get a little bit more of this portion complete, you'll be able to see that a little bit better on the needles here. But as you can see, it's like an extension, so this is the edge all the way up to the top. It's gonna be beautiful. I can't wait. So that is where I am at on this shawl. I am knitting this on US 4s, and that is, I should just write this down so you have it. I apologize. Most of you are probably calling it out right now because you know it right off the top of your head, and I'm trying to find it on this metal portion of the needle with light shining down. What is that, a 3.5 millimeter? US 4 3.5 millimeter? That sounds close. I am knitting this on Goosey Fibers yarn. It's her Goosey sock base, which is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And I am knitting this with 5 different colors that it fades into. So this first color at the top is called Cockatoo. The next section, which is like this latticey section, is called Shabby Velvet Nose. And then this speckled one here with the vertical lace is Pelican. And then this next one down here, so Pelican goes long, is called the Hunger Birds. And this beautiful purple is called Practical Magic. This is beautiful. I am just loving everything about this. It's so pretty. If you've ever knit a Stephen West shawl, this doesn't look like that big of a shawl, really. There's a lot of detail to it, but once you block these shawls, they're just ginormous. And so this is going to be, this is unblocked right now, and look at how just, I don't want to stretch it too far because I don't want the stitches to fall off, but it goes right around the shoulders already. So once it's blocked, this will grow significantly. I know Goosey Fibers, or Caitlin the dyer, her yarn, just like, it has the best squish factor after it's been blocked, and I know that this is just going to grow significantly. So it's going to be so cozy. I'm loving it so much. So I hope to have this off my needles. Oh, I feel like the first week of April is doable. I'm not really putting a significant time constraint on myself, but I am being very monogamous with this piece right now because I just really want to get it done. So hopefully soon it's done and I can have this as a finished object to show you. But that's what's been eating up my needles a lot, my needle time. And now I can move this lovely stitch marker down, and the next time I show it, hopefully it will be completed, but then you will see the full project from where I just talked about it to the completion. So let me just move this while I'm thinking about it now, and we can circle back on this next week or the following. This hasn't used up all of the yarn. I still have some significant amounts of yarn left, which I'm actually surprised by. But I know that this bottom portion that I'm working on right now, you're integrating some of the colors over again. So it's like these really weird sections of, like, I don't know, 8 to 10 rows, and they're smaller rows. And then you put in like color A, and then you'll do 8 to 10 more rows, and then it's color B, and then so you can see the shift, and then it starts over because right now there's like 500 stitches in one row, and since I'm going a long way, I'm picking up like a couple at a time. It's kind of weird, but anyway, I should use up a good portion of the rest of the yarn that's left here, I'm hoping. Otherwise I'm gonna have to find another project for this scrappy yarn pieces that I'll have left over. Maybe a cute pair of socks or a hat to go along with it. I don't know, we'll see what's actually left over. But this project is living in my jellyfish bag by Bags by Awesome Granny. This is like the perfect size. As you can see, it's got 5 skeins of yarn in there plus my project. So it's like the perfect size, and this is her large bag. So if you need a large project bag, this is a great place. It has this cute little ring on it, as well as a nice little handle. So I think, is there pockets on the inside? I don't think there is. Yep, no pockets on the inside. But that is my work in progress that has been taking up most of my time. And I fully intend to cast on a pair of socks with some of the yarn that I'm about to show. So let's just go ahead and air the dirty laundry and get into procurements. I'll try and go through it quickly because there is quite a bit of it. If you don't want to stay and watch all of it, that's perfectly fine. I completely understand. Like I said, I went a little bit overboard while we were in London. I got really excited about finding some new dyers that I have not knit with before, as well as there was some other yarns that I've heard about and I've seen people knit with them, and I think you can get most of it in the States or have it shipped to the States, but I specifically saved purchasing some yarn while we were out and about a few weeks ago because I knew we were going to London and I wanted to save it to say that I bought it there. It just felt like the fun and right thing to do at the time. But so I'll move into that. You don't have to stay if you decide to leave. You don't want to watch procurements. I really appreciate you sticking around and watching what I've been working on. I hope that you're knitting something that brings you a lot of joy and that you are loving. Please comment below on what you're working on. I love to read your comments. I read every single one of them. I love responding and interacting with everybody. In fact, on the last episode, I had posted that we were going to London, and one of you had commented about some stuff that's happening in London and kind of what to avoid and what to look out for. And I was so grateful for that. We actually heeded the advice, and we got out of the city for the weekend and went to Bath, and that was a beautiful experience. We got to go visit the Roman baths, and the kids had just such a great time. We went and saw Stranger Things, I guess that's at West End in London. It's not even in the States yet. Probably won't be until next year. It was the most phenomenal show I've ever seen. So if you ever have the chance to go and see Stranger Things on stage, it's amazing. But yeah, we did everything. We did the British Museum. We did the Natural History Museum. We did the Tower Bridge. We did Tower of London. My son and I went and did the Big London Bake, which was so much fun, where we made a cake while we were there. We went to Bath. We crossed Abbey Road, of course. We did the Borough Market. We had some toasties. We had a proper tea time. We had lots of biscuits and tea. We stopped at so many pubs. It was just a joy to be with my family during that time. And it was a great family vacation. But all of that to say, we also made sure to stop and get some yarn. And my kids begrudgingly followed me around because my husband forced them to do, because he loves to support my yarn collection habits. And so we will jump right into that. So I'll start with the yarn that I picked up in London, and I'm going to do it in no particular order. I can't remember specifically. I'll try and recall which shops I got them in. I think there's a few that it's a little bit fuzzy for where I got it, but here we go. So the first stop that we made for yarn stores in London was Loop. I was very excited to go in. I have a great picture of my son and I standing outside of the store. It was really exciting to finally get to go and visit. It is the cutest little store. It's 2 stories. I didn't even realize they had a second level, and then we went to go check out, and they were like, we have yarn upstairs. And so I ended up finding some additional yarn from upstairs that I couldn't live without. So let's see, I said no particular order, but I will try and keep it together for where I purchased it from if I can remember. So from Loop, I found this gorgeous yarn. It's by Kama Rose, and I know that this is an Italian company, or it's dyed in Italy. I honestly I don't know what specifically it is, other than I know that there's cashmere in this, and I know that there is wool. I don't think it's superwash. It is so soft, and I didn't even look it up. I could look it up, but this is their host base. I'm assuming it's 75% wool, 16%. It says Genberg's gold. I'll look it up. And then 9% cashmere. This is Strand Sten colorway 8204. And it is just this fantastic, squishy, soft, gorgeous yarn. And I got 2 of these, and I think that this would just be a lovely squishy cowl or a hat. It doesn't have a whole lot of stretch to it, so I think a cowl will be better for it than a hat. But it is soft and squishy, and I couldn't leave without it when I found it. So I got 2 skeins, which ends up being, I think that these were 50 grams. Yep, 100 grams of that. The next one that I found is, I can never pronounce this. King? Is it King? Q-I-N-G or Queuing? Fiber. This is hand dyed in London, and this is 100% superwash ultra fine merino, 100 grams on their dashing fingering base, and this is called Fizz Whiz, and it was fun and cute, and it seems like the perfect colorway for a beautiful pair of socks. Look at the speckles, like the vibrant speckles. The base of this is just like the lightest cotton candy pink with all of these like fun, vibrant speckles. It's amazing. And so this is going to definitely be a fun pair of socks. If I'm not mistaken, I think I got this one there too. This is Black Elephant. I've never heard of this brand before. This is their sock base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 100 grams. It says no 2 skeins are exactly the same. So this is called Silver Lining, and I loved just the minty green in this, but it just reminds me of like a pistachio. Even with the speckles in there, it just like that green is like the perfect pistachio color. And so again, another pair of socks that I thought of for that. The second store that we stopped at was Beautiful Knitter. And I think it's Beautiful Knitter. Yeah, Beautiful Knitters. And this store was so cute. So from there, I got their own line of yarn. So I decided to grab a full skein and a mini for a sock set. This one is their Mayfair. I think this is both their Mayfair. Yep. Base, which is a 75% superwash blue-faced Leicester base with 25% nylon. And this one, the large skein, is called Petals. And the mini, it doesn't have a specific name on it, but I just thought that they popped together. And it is just like this soft, let's see, come on, stop focusing on my face. Just this soft with a little bit of speckling throughout. And like this coral, beautiful pink. There you go. Also from Beautiful Knitters, I found some West Yorkshire spinners, and I can get this in the States. I've seen it in a few local yarn stores, but I figured with the last time I had seen it, I almost bought it because I don't see it a lot, and I figured I would wait until we got to London. The pricing on this in London versus in the States is phenomenal. I think these were like maybe £7, which is around, I don't know, $7.50-ish or something in the States, maybe $8. So this is 75% wool, 25% nylon, and this is their signature base. And one of them is called Goldfinch, which is just like this, yep, that's it, like this red and yellow with gray, and it's just I think it's gonna knit up beautifully. So it contains 35% blue-faced Leicester. It's really soft, but it still has a good like wool, not woolly wool, but like a good wool texture to it. And this colorway is called Blue Tilt, Blue Tilt, I think. And it's just this yellow and blue and gray and white. And these are going to knit up so fun. So again, more socks. And then I think that's all from that one. Then we went to Knitters with Attitude, I think is what the name of it was. And I'm missing a skein, but I found this very interesting. It almost looks like Spin Cycle, but it's not. This is actually marled, and I don't think it's like the changing one. I think it's just kind of all throughout. This is Chimera Marl Magic by River Knits, and this is 100% BFL wool, and this is called My Other Boat is a Yacht. And I got 2 skeins of the exact same thing, and this I thought would just be fun to knit up. I haven't decided what the project is. Because it's 100% BFL, it's spun and hand dyed in the UK. It's soft, but still, again, it's got like some grit to it. So if you have any ideas for a good 100% BFL yarn, let me know. I only have 100 grams of this. And then last from Knitters with Attitude, I got this Twisted Ambitions yarn, hand dyed with Wicked Sweet Style. And this is a sweet stock base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 463 yards, which means that it's a pretty thin yarn. It looks like it too, but it's beautiful. It's called Babylon, and it was just, I guess I must have been in a very speckled mood when we were there. I found all of just like these great, fun, funky yarns, and I was loving it. So, of course, I just dived right in. And then the last but not least, we went to, what was the name of the last one that we went to? I will add it here because I can't remember it, but they have a passport that I didn't know about. Now we have to go back to Scotland and Ireland to finish this passport in the next 2 years. But I thought it sounded like a fun idea. So I got their little book and there's stamps in it to say that I bought stuff there. And there's, what do we have left? 4 or 5 other yarn shops that participate between Scotland and Ireland. So now we have to go to Scotland and Ireland and buy some yarn. And I'm not complaining about that. So that was a fun part of the trip. But I found this indie local dyer, and this is called The Wool Kitchen. This is a 75% BFL, so blue face lustered, 25% nylon sock, and this is called Neon Only. Look at that. So I thought socks, but I feel like this is way too fun for socks. Cowl, just wear it, like, look. Oh, hats. Oh. This one was fun. This one made me smile. I love it so much. And then at every store that we went to, I kept touching the Jameson and Smith yarn. I've seen Dan from the Bakery Bears use this base a lot, especially in the color work that he does. And I love the way that it looks on the screen, and it's so beautiful, especially in a color work setting. But when I got to the stores and I started really touching it, I was worried that I wouldn't like it, because it is very woolly, very, very woolly, very fiber, like gritty, like it just sticks to itself. It's very rustic. It's 100% real Shetland wool. So as you know, I've never really, have a few things. So I decided that I would get 2 navy blue colors. By the way, this yarn in the States, if you equivalent what I spent in London for this, is like $4 a skein, a ball. And 2 of these like creamy whites, and I thought maybe I could do a pair of mittens. So a 2-color work mitten. So that is all of my London yarn. Now, while we were away, I had some clubs come in. While we were away, I had some chicken yarn come in. It is what it is. Okay. I'm part of the Magpie Fibers Society Club. The Society number 35 came in, which is the first quarter for 2024. And this is on their Swanky DK, which is 80% merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. And it is just this beautiful, oh my gosh, this color just picks it up really well today. It just like gravitated right to that, didn't it? So this is the colorway that we got for Society number 35, and that's our January 24 quarter, or first quarter for 2024. Chicken yarn from Hugh Loco came in. So while we were away, she dropped another, and I think there'll be a 5th one, I believe. Can't remember how many chickens she does and how many roosters she does. I don't know if it's 4 and 4. If it's 4 and 4, then this was the last one. I didn't order it yet because I knew that there should be one dropping on Friday this week, and instead of paying 2 shippings, I figured I could just ship them together. But we'll have to see if I like it. So I definitely want the one that got dropped on Friday last week. If it's a rooster, I don't know. I did not really enjoy the roosters from last year. So we'll see if it's a chicken or a rooster. But this one is her French Marin chicken. I'm sorry. This is the Pekin Bantam chicken. This is on her Phyllis sock base, which is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And each collection comes with one 100-gram skein and two 20-gram minis for a sock set. So again, this is the Pekin Bantam Chicken. Oh, yes. And this is getting out of control. And this is the French Marin, so I knew it was in there. This one, the color, I hope that the camera picks it up right. The color is almost like when you look into like an opal, but with brown in there. Just kind of think of an opal essence type feel. Like see how it does that? It's crazy good. Nicole, come on. This is what? Amazing. So this one is just beautiful. And then my March owl came in from Goosey Fibers, which is the great horned owl. And I went ahead and did the minis with it. Okay, and I promise this. Nope, I don't promise. I have two more. And that's it. Oh boy. Okay, so I think I'd spoken last time, maybe the time before, that Goosey Fibers also just had dropped a Charlotte's Web collection, and I'm planning to do the book blanket or maybe a book cardigan, book shawl type thing. I don't know yet. Maybe I'll do the triangle shawl by Pearl Soho and use all of these minis up. But at first she didn't have the mini set, and I loved the colors of the Charlotte Web. I was considering doing her 50-gram skeins of the whole collection because I loved it so much. But then, like just before we left for our trip, I looked at the website and I noticed that she had put up the minis for the whole collection. And it was what I was hoping she would do it. She read my mind and did it. And so I didn't take this out of the package, so sorry for the crinkling. OMG. I love it so much. Oh, it's so great. And those are, I believe, these are all 75, 25. So that will be something. And last but not least, if you haven't been able to tell, I'm a sucker for a good something like Harry Potter, Charlotte's Web, Little Women, just like a good, solid, what's the word I'm looking for here? Eventually it will come to me. Collection, a good, solid, I don't know. When it's based off of something. Why can't I think of that word today? Yarn Cafe Creations, still on her website, so you can go and get it if you want to, has a Breakfast Club collection out. Breakfast Club is one of my all-time favorite movies. I can watch it over and over. I love me some Molly Ringwald. Give me Pretty in Pink. Give me the Breakfast Club. Give me 16 Candles. Like, yes, please. All of it. This one, she put a sock set together with two of the colorways that she has. So the large skein, the 100-gram skein, is called No, I Never Did It. But you gotta yell, no, I never did it. And the mini is called A Princess. Oh my gosh, it's Claire. It's so good. It's Molly Ringwald. It's Pretty in Pink. It's a breakfast club. It's 16 candles. I don't know. You could put all of that in here. It's Molly Ringwald in a just... Oh, Christy, what did you do? This is phenomenal. Yes. Okay. That is, I promise, all of the yarn. I hope to not have another procurement section like this for a very long time. I've got so much yarn to knit up, but it's my collection and I love it. It makes me smile every time I see it. I have quite a blank wall in front of me to fill up. So that is my, it shouldn't be a goal at all. My goal should be to knit it all. And knit I've just got a lot of socks to knit, so I better get to that. London was amazing. I am hoping that the next time I drop in for a podcast, I'll have a finished Stephen West shawl for you. I'll have some socks. I am just looking forward to crafting. This has revived me. I'm exhausted, but I want to go sit down and knit, so that's what I'm going to go do. I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. I hope that you love the procuring portion and are finding joy in what you're working on. So with that, make sure you comment below. Let me know what you're working on. Let me know what you have in store for you. Do you have any spring knitting plans coming up? I haven't planned for like spring knitting or anything like that. You know you'll probably see a lot of socks. I have a couple of cowl ideas that I'd like to get on the needles, which I think I'll be able to knit up pretty quickly. Sounds like a good refresher after this long Stephen West shawl. And I have some blankets that I really want to start. There's so much to knit in too little time. I say that all the time.
So much yarn, so little time.
Please like, subscribe, let me know that you like this so I can continue to keep making more of what you like. I hope that you are finding joy in what you are working on and that you have an amazing week. I will catch you on the next episode. Bye.